We're live. Hi, everyone. Mitch from PickDogs.com. We got the gangs all here. Ron Romanelli, Jay Briggs, Rod Zwacky, Mills. We've got Al Ninos, Chris Ruffalo, Jovan Burt's batting cleanup today. And we have got a NFL Week 1 lineup that is a full card. No one's got to buy in Week 1. So we got the full, all NFL teams are in action. We're already debating games behind the scenes here. And, of course, coming off yesterday's college football Saturday, which was a spectacular day. I loved Alabama yesterday. I got my ass kicked on that game. But from there on in, it was me taking names on those books all day long. And those of you that had the premiums, you know that. So it was a monster day. And even the games that we gave out on the show here, if you guys followed along, App State money line we gave out on the show here, and we also gave out Georgia Southern money line here. We also had Vandy money line too, but that didn't work out so well for us, did it? And Stanford on the money line. But we hit the two big ones. And believe me, that paid for a lot of other picks as well. Ron Romanelli coming off of yesterday. I know you like those Florida Gators, but they did not come through. I thought it was really poor quarterback play that was their undoing in the end. And I certainly thought that they had the talent there to beat Kentucky. But, we knew. And, the reason why I was leading Kentucky earlier in the week was because they start the season so fast. And we know Game 7 they're going to get beat up. Alabama's going to put 90 on them or something like they always do. But what do you any thoughts from yesterday and looking forward to today?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think poor quarterback play was definitely the issue. A few mistakes there. I mean, the pick six was a gut punch. But, I'm excited for Week 1 of the NFL season. Usually I start a little bit slower with the NFL, just a couple plays here and there. But I think by Week 2 I'll be putting a bunch of plays in there in the premium section. So I'm really excited. And I got some fantasy teams going on. I got survivor pools. So I'm excited for this NFL season.
I got a little different strategy. I kind of, instead of playing the close to the vest, I actually this year I sprayed a little bit more because I just feel that, I'm going to hit some of them. I'm not going to hit some of them. And it's like, I like these games all enough to put something on. I'm just going to make a little bit smaller bets than I normally do. And I'm going to try and, hit
4%.
What's that? 4% of what?
4%. Yeah, 4%
of what? Of my bankroll? What's my, which bankroll?
The third one.
I'll tell you what, man. You touch 4% of my bagel, you're gonna bite your hand off. Jay Briggs, what do you got?
What's going on, man? NFL Sunday, we're finally here, man. It's been a long summer.
Yesterday, you said something that was really interesting. You said the Horns are going to cover and their fans are going to be really happy. So I know I was around a ton of Texas fans, and none of them were happy. They were, So I thought Texas played their heart out. I thought they played their guts out. I thought it was the best they could possibly play. You had a quarterback with one leg, basically a backup quarterback with one leg, who was a starter a year ago, against, supposedly the best team in the country, playing dirty football. They ripped the guy's helmet off and they didn't call a face mask. And they show the replay and he's like, it's not like, oh, it was an incidental bump off the helmet. I mean, he ripped the helmet off, basically turned it around the guy's head and threw it on the ground, and they didn't call a face mask on it. But Alabama was flagged, I believe, 15 times that were accepted penalties in that game, maybe more than that. And they committed probably another 50 that weren't called and probably declined, a few along the way as well. What do you think of that game? Do you think?
Honestly, I totally disagree with you. I think Texas was robbed. I think we had that safety in the end zone that was somehow targeted.
They absolutely had the safety in the end zone. It was not called. But to me, the missing of the chip shot field goal before the half was the writing on the wall.
How do you miss that? But it got.
You cannot miss that field goal against Alabama. You cannot miss that field goal and expect to beat Alabama. You cannot do that.
And then on that third down, man, we had him, man. We called up the right blitz. He got to him, but Bryce Young shows why he was the Heisman, dipped under and got 20 yards in the field goal range.
And their defense, they got to your guy a bunch of times too, and he got away too. So it was kind of
knocked my boy Ewers out the game, but it's all good.
Cheap shot again, and another cheap shot.
Texas might be live in that Big 12 this year.
The Texas fans I was watching the game with were not happy about that, and they were saying that they should retaliate and get another quarterback. Alabama, Bryce Young. They felt that he deserved the same treatment that yours got. Rod, heading into NFL Sunday, you got your Dolphins gear on. The excitement is through the roof in Miami this year. First season in over 50 years in the existence of this team that they've ever sold out season tickets in Miami. It is pure excitement and hysteria for the Dolphins, who haven't been to the Super Bowl since the Dan Marino era, his second season in the NFL. It's been a long time coming.
Right, since this is been a long time.
But they play in the same division as first. They played in the same division as the Patriots. Now they play in the same division as the Bills.
Right.
So they get over the hump this year.
That'll be a battle. Bills and the Dolphins, definitely. Of course, as a fan, I'm rooting. I hope they get over the hump this year and get beat up. But my heart says the Bills are going to come out of that division. And then yesterday, kickers missed some things. Pitt, how many? He missed 2. They should have beat Tennessee in that one. Missed a couple kicks there. We had Liberty, so Liberty was good. A nice money line winner there. We knew they were going to bounce back. They looked good. Good day yesterday.
I did a Roniak 11-team parlay that I lost on the Pitt over. It was the only game I lost. I had 10 out of 11 on the parlay. But I played $20. It was a total Roniak parlay. It was like $20 pays, like $7 or $8 grand. And I missed the Pitt. I'll read you guys what I could show you guys the ticket. That doesn't matter. But you can see I hit every single game on it except the Pitt over. It's like all they had to do was score an OT. And I think they got to OT. I'm like, I'm winning. Right.
If only you had put the game to go to overtime instead of the over. That would have been a nice payout.
Anyways, Mills, UFC card yesterday. Nate Diaz, surprising a lot of people there. I think the general consensus that I heard walking around was that you can't knock this guy out. That's basically what they said about him. And instead of just not being able to get knocked out, he won the fight. It looked like he was trained perfectly, right, for the other fight that he had. He took it dead serious.
Yeah, definitely, man. That whole card got rearranged. He came in there and submitted Tony Ferguson in like round 4. It was a hell of an event. He was supposed to fight, a big favorite, Kazmat Chimaev. Good thing he didn't, because that guy, Kazmat Chimaev, picked up Kevin Holland within like 2 minutes and just made him look like lunch meat from last week. So definitely it was good to see Nate Diaz get a more favorable matchup on his way out. But yeah, man, it was a hell of a stacked card on there. You had a lot of fights a lot of people didn't agree with. Some people thought some fights was robberies, but overall, good night for us over here on our premium picks and stuff like that. I had a few dogs to cash for us, but yeah, it was definitely an event, man, to watch.
So it was an 8-leg parlay that I lost. I'm looking at my ticket. 8 legs. I had Maryland minus the points. I had the over in the Tennessee pick game. Air Force, Florida Atlantic, Jovan's pick that he gave out on the show yesterday is where I got that one from. Ole Miss against Central Arkansas. That was our community play yesterday. Everybody on the show gave out Ole Miss against Central Arkansas. Texas State minus the points against FIU, and then App State money line and Georgia Southern money line. All I lost was that one pick. Oh, I know. It would have been boat money.
So
anyways,
when you're in that type of situation, is there ever a point to where you might like hedge off? Like, let's just
I wasn't at that point in the parlay to hedge off because I still had other games that were going to go. So it wasn't like the last leg of the parlay. It was no one ever says that, Ron, do they? It's like, oh, it was the last game.
Sometimes actually, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they do, right?
I see it quite often, actually, yeah.
Anyways. El Niños, you said you're still camping out on some baseball today, hanging on. It's like it's the last month of the season. You think that there's just value on the card as people maybe the bigger money is staying away? Because Al McMorty last week, we asked him this, and he said the bettors are indiscriminate to sport. They just look at the entire board and will find the value, the big bettors. You think that was the case here?
The big bettors, I'm sure, yeah, will always try to look for value, no matter what the sport is, as long as they know something about the sport, But me myself, personally, I always say baseball and hockey are my two favorite sports to bet. Even I may like other sports better, but as far as betting games, it's still my two favorite sports to bet myself. And I
You
understand
just love
people
those big, because they have the big money line favorites. Those two
Well, no,
sports.
because
and that's your jam. It's okay.
No, but-
It's okay.
But even
It's
the
okay.
big money line favorites,
Al, it's okay.
when you have the Yankees with Cole, or sorry, I know you hate Cole, bad example. Say the Dodgers with Kershaw or in his prime, right? Going up against the worst team in the league with their third starter, you're getting them at minus 300. That's like the equivalent of getting the best team in the league. Who you want to say the Bills
It's okay,
right now,
Al, you don't
going
need to
up against the
defend yourself.
worst
We're all
team in the
family
league.
here, man. We're all family. We're all family.
With their
We're all good.
third string quarterback.
Give me
Just
a hug.
admit you have a problem.
You get
Give
you get
me a hug. Just give me a hug, man. We're all
you
good.
get
don't need
much
to be
better
defensive.
odds.
You don't need to defend yourself. You say,
If-
screw you. I was number one in hockey this year. You suck it, old man. Anyways, Ruffalo. What do you?
And instead of paying minus 3,000 for a team, you're paying minus 200.
That's what I would say to you, man, if it was the other way around. Trust me. Ruffalo.
I have no words at this point. I'm left speechless. Oh man.
NFL Sunday, we're coming off of college football Saturday. I already said I hate Will Anderson. I think he's a jerk. I think Alabama's dirty. Who did you dirty yesterday?
Alabama. I'm trying to think of who else. Oklahoma just missed out on that cover, but there was still, a lot of great games yesterday. Love that Maryland game. Love that Toledo game.
No one just did you dirty and just didn't show up.
No. It was one of those things where I figured that the one that did me dirty was Alabama, just not showing up and not really being able to pull away from Texas at any point in that game. And
who was your heroes? Like I had Houston yesterday, and it's like I like the new overtime rule when I'm the one getting the points.
Yeah,
it's like
right.
as soon as they get to a certain point in the overtime, it's like having the over, right? It's like betting the over. It's like you can't lose, and it's like you just get to that certain point, which is great. It's kind of like if the old overtime rules, if you're getting more than a touchdown, right? But the new overtime rules, it's if you're getting better than two and a half, if you're getting 2.5, that's all you need. I was worried in that UTSA game when Army scored first and got the field goal. It's like we have to have the touchdown here. It was just textbook. 1 by 3, lay in 2.5. Same thing as winning by 100.
UTSA was my bet of the day yesterday.
I had premium on it. Sweating. Had it all the way. No doubter.
I will say my saviors yesterday. Georgia Southern for expediting the process on my Scott Frost next to be fired head coach bet plus 500. I will take that all day, every day. That was a fantastic call on the money line as well.
Well, Jovan, I owe you lunch and probably a small Cadillac with that FAU pick. I mean, I never saw that on the board until you mentioned it on the show. That was just awesome. I mean, it was just it was. That's how you draw it up. How'd you end up yesterday? And what are you looking at today?
Started off down and was chasing for the rest of the day. Had a chance to break even, but Arizona did me dirty. But that wasn't the one that got me. It was so turned on the TV, or the TV was already on. I take a look. I saw the overhead shot of the Texas Longhorn Stadium, and I was like, I'm dead in the water in this one. They're behind enemy lines, and Alabama usually doesn't schedule those type of games. It's usually a neutral site game against a good team.
Yep.
So, I knew I was dead in the water in that one as far as the point spread. But the one that got me was Texas Tech. You're up 17-3 going into the second half. All right, you let them score a quick touchdown, but this, their backup quarterback kept on throwing picks. And he was driving, times where he should have, maybe sprinted for a first down, he forced the ball. Three interceptions. One of them was a pick six that tied the game. Without that, because neither the Houston, they couldn't move the ball for anything.
Nope.
For the most part. So that was just
actually they had a couple scoring chances early and didn't take advantage of it. Yeah, they also had a kickoff return for a touchdown called back.
Yeah, but without Smith, shooting himself and the team in the foot those 3 times, any one of those, cost them the cover. They won the game, but that's not doing anything for me in my money. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what.
And
42-9, laying 11 points with Florida Atlantic against Southeast Louisiana. Man, this didn't get any easier than that. The Ole Miss Central Arkansas with that, was like. And the thing was, it's like also, in the book, it makes you like a hero because like no one's looking at those.
Yeah, so with FAU, I totally forgot about that play for some inexplicable reason. Maybe I just had a little bit too much going on.
God,
from Friday night to Saturday morning.
But, damn sure.
But yeah, I definitely got that personal money on that. That was free money.
That was beautiful. All right, well, we got it today, NFL Sunday. It is it's time to let's get rolling on this thing. I know we're all excited, and let's go through the card. Let's see how quickly we can make it through, but we got time, and we all have apps. Head to Atlanta, where the Falcons taking on the Saints. We're going to go through everyone. If you guys can just be fairly brief, you don't just give a pick, but say why, whatever, because we got some ground to cover. But anyways, we got the Falcons, Dirty Birds here against the Saints. Jameis Winston and the Saints, really high expectations this year. I don't know. This is a guy that got ran out of Tampa in my book. Anyways, Ron Romanelli, Jameis Winston, he forgot to pay for the crab legs. It's a story. He's sticking to it. One of my favorite things of all time was there was a company that said Jameis Winston's senior year of college or his last year at Florida State, they had a Twitter chat with Jameis Winston. And you could write in questions, and you could only imagine the hundreds of thousands of Gator fans on that chat. It's like they're asking him like math questions. It's like if you have 2 pounds of crab legs and you forget to pay for them, how much were the crab legs? It was like every question. They finally had to stop the chat. They just stopped. It was like the Gator fans were and the Kane fans, they just beat him up. And I don't know. You think he goes into Atlanta and beats the Dirty Birds here? No, Chick-fil-A closed at Mercedes-Benz Stadium today.
Yeah. Well, Jameis is something else, that's for sure. But I also think he's an upgraded quarterback compared to Simeon and Taysom Hill and Ian Book last year when he went down. So
how dare you say Ian Book on this show?
Yeah, I don't want to start that up. But no, I do think Winston's a much better quarterback. And I do think he's got the weapons. Michael Thomas expected to play today. Alvin Kamara ready to go. And obviously a first-round pick and Chris Olave. So, I like the Saints in this game. I think the Falcons going to be a tough year for them overall. I think it'll be a competitive game for the first half, but I think the Saints pull away in the second half. So I'll lay the points with New Orleans.
G Briggs.
I'm on the Dirty Birds today, man. I think that they can come out there and cover the spread divisional game. I think this game will be a lot tighter than most people are thinking, especially in Atlanta. Marcus Mariota, he's a veteran. He's been here before. He's not the bot. You know what I'm saying? He has some experience. I think this game will be closer than most people think. Me, the Falcons.
Rod, how come when I think of this series, I always think of it being settled by a Morton Anderson field goal? What do you like in this one?
for me in this one, I like the Saints here. I don't trust Mariota. I think this is his last shot at a starting gig, and I think he's going to flop. I think we might see Desmond Ridder faster than we think in Atlanta. So trust me, look at the Falcons. They are 0-6 ATS in week 1. They're also 0-4 as a home dog, their last 4. And the Saints are 4-0 ATS the last 4 in Atlanta. And I think Winston's going to come out and shine. And all you got to really do is hand it off to Kamara, and Kamara's going to run like beast right through that Atlanta defense. So I'll take the Saints here. I think they easily win by a touchdown.
Mills?
All right, man. So we're talking about this game right here, man. Not a homer pick or anything like that. Not saying I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan, or anything like that. But all right, man. So when it comes down to it, man, New Orleans Saints, they getting Michael Thomas back. Olave is gonna help him out at that receiver end. But when it comes down to it, man, the Atlanta Falcons are 7-1 versus the Saints in home openers. So that's a stat that I'm looking at. Am I betting with my heart? No, I'm not. But I do think the Atlanta Falcons will be able to cover that +5.5. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the +5.5 with the ATL. And another play that I like, Cal Pitts over 4.5 is like an easy play. So those are some of the plays that I'll be on in this game right there.
El Niños. Done with that money line discussion.
It's not always just money line.
We're going to table that one.
It's not always just money line. But anyway, just to finish that.
It's okay. Al. You don't need
if it was,
we're all family, man. That's all good.
Okay. Thanks for the reminder. But if it was any other quarterback, I'd probably be on the Falcons with the points. But I just can't quite get there with Mariota. So I'll lay them with the Saints.
How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm on the Saints as well. Division dogs in week one usually profitable, but I'm with Rod. I think you see Desmond Ridder here probably a lot sooner than a lot of folks were expecting. I think he's going to be starting by week 4. I think he's got the promise. I'm not a Marcus Mariota fan, so
I agree.
I think this is a spot where you see the Saints just pull away, win this one by a touchdown late. Not going to be a blowout, I don't think, by any stretch, but I think they win this one by 7. So I'll lay the points with New Orleans here.
All right. I certainly don't understand how people can praise Jameis Winston and put down Mariota in the same sentence.
Exactly.
Especially
I don't see it. Personally, I see a guy in Jameis Winston who can't throw the ball to guys on his own team. You can give him Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Jerry Rice, and Lance Allworth, and he's still not going to be able to complete a pass to a guy in his team because he had that at Florida State. Mariota beat him. Jovan?
Yeah, I'm on the Saints. As long as Winston doesn't throw the ball to his own to the other team, which he did show last year, before his injury. He showed that he played within himself and didn't
Sean Payton is a lot different coach.
Absolutely right. He's a quarterback whisperer, but as long as he doesn't go crazy and throw the ball to his other team and start eating wins and doing all the crazy stuff that he was doing in Tampa Bay, then he should be all right. It's going to be a run heavy offense as it is anyway. So I expect them to pull away in the second half. And I kind of like the under, but I'll just for the show pick, I'll take the Saints.
We had
Thunder. Yeah.
we had to that's my phone. We had to
Nice. I would start dancing every time it started raining.
I actually have to take this, but we head to Chicago where the Bears are taking on the 49ers. Ron, what do you think?
Yeah, I was on the rundown when I went over this game. I was looking at a teaser for this one, and I do like the 49ers to win this game. I don't think there's much of a chance of them losing this game outright, but laying 6.5, 7 points on the road week 1, not always the best idea, especially with the weather conditions in Chicago. So, but I do like the 49ers to win this game. I also like the under. So I'm going to do a 6-point teaser. You can bring the 49ers down to laying only a half a point, and then you move the under to 46. I think we're going to see a low-scoring game. I think we get under that original total at 40, but just to give you some extra wiggle room, we'll do the teaser, 6-point teaser.
I like the Bears plus the points here in this game. I'm not sold on Trey Lance. I don't think he's necessarily going to step in and just be an MVP candidate. I don't, what I'm saying? I think there was a reason that the 49ers still have Jimmy in the building. I think that Trey Lance, like I said, I'm not sold on him yet. We've only seen him in 2 games, so I think he might actually look like a deer in headlights here today. And I just think those 7 points would be good in my pocket today. I could see the 49ers winning this game late with a walk-off field goal. 3 points. Justin Fields, he has experience. You've seen him last year. He played over like 10 games last season. I think he's not a rookie this season. I think we see him improve, take a step. No longer with Nagy. I like the Bears plus the points here.
Rod?
And for me, I like the San Francisco here. I'm not a fan of the Bears. Bears, you look as a home dog, 0-6. The last 6 is a home dog here. And the 49ers, last season they came out and they won on the road. So to start the year, and I think they do it again. They're 4-0 ATS the last 4 on the road. Road team 5-1 ATS the last 6 meetings between these two. I like the 49ers by a touchdown in this one or more. I think they can easily beat the Bears.
Mills?
So in this one, I got to go with the 49ers, man. That defense is just something that, has gotten better, with Bosa coming back into the lineup, But a more confident play that I'll be looking at is Mooney over 4.5 receptions. And I'm also going to be playing Trey Lance to get a scoring touchdown, a rushing touchdown at that. I think his ceiling is going to be about 12 to 13 rushing touchdowns this year as he takes over for Jimmy G. But if you ask me, yeah, I'll just probably be on the 49ers. And, those are the player props that I like.
Al Niños.
So what was the other 2 games here?
It's the 49ers and the Bears.
Oh, just that one. Okay. No, okay. So
what show is this?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I think we always talk about the Al Nino show. I think we should just call that Al Nino show. What show is this?
Dude, where's my show? I don't love this game at all, but I'll probably take the points.
Wanted to take a Ruffalo, but couldn't do it. Yeah. Ruffalo.
Yeah, that's my shtick. No, I'm gonna go with the under in this one. I just, Justin Fields, 4 games as a home underdog in his career. Bears 0-4, and they've only scored more than 14 points once. I just expect this to be an ugly game, kind of like Ron mentioned earlier, especially with week 1 with the weather in Chicago. I think this is first to 21 wins, so I'm going to take the under 40.5.
Jovan. Got the mute going.
Last year I was on the Bears in the same exact spot, and they paid for it. So I'm not going to do that again this time around. I will lean under, have a slightly. Yeah, I do expect. I don't know if you say an uglier game, but offensively inefficient and ineffective game. So I expect both of these teams to stay in the teens somewhere, maybe a 17-14 game or 17-10 game, somewhere around there. Week 1, offenses are sluggish, defenses dominate.
I've been waiting a year to fade Trey Lance, and I get my opportunity today. I'll be fading him early and often. This guy stinks. He aims at the defender when he throws the football, and the Bears are ball hawks. They always have been. The names change, the faces change, but the Bears are defense. They're the monsters of the Midway. They're the pride and joy of Illinois. Chicago Bears. Bears 463, Niners -7.
Where's the Bears?
The Bears. The Bears. Another interesting one here. Bengals taking on the Steelers. We got the defending AFC champions at home. First home game since that tough Super Bowl loss. First regular season game. Going to be a raucous crowd in the jungle. Not that Steelers games aren't. Generally, when the Steelers visit Cincinnati, I lived in Cincinnati, so I know this for a fact. The crowd is mostly Steeler fans. I don't think that's going to be the case today. Opening day in Cincinnati. That Joe Burrow's cold, freaking blooded, man. He's just a killer. Ron?
Yeah, I think this total's set a little bit too low. I think the Bengals have one of the more high-powered offenses going again into the season, and we saw the Steelers they had one of the worst rush defenses last year. So they still, even though Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase get basically all the praise, Joe Mixon's a solid running back. I think a top 10 running back in the league. So I think the Bengals offense has a great day today, but I also think the Steelers compete offensively themselves. I think Mitch Trubisky, even though he's not my favorite quarterback, I think he's a big upgrade compared to Ben Roethlisberger last year. I mean, Big Ben, a 44.6% completion percentage as an NFL quarterback. that is miserable. That's not even good for college standards. So I think they're getting a big upgrade. I think Najee Harris is a great running back, great back. So I think this is going to be a competitive, high-scoring game, and I think this total set too low. So I lean towards getting now 1.5 points, getting a touchdown, and I like the over too.
Jay Briggs.
I like the Steelers here plus the points, man. Division game. We typically have seen the Steelers blow the doormat off of the Cincinnati Bengals, but that wasn't necessarily the case last year as we've seen the Bengals break through and make the Super Bowl. I think we kind of see an overreaction here. I don't like this line. I think that there's going to be a tight game, especially with that Steelers defense. Have we forgotten about that Steelers defense? So I think this game is going to be tighter than a lot of people think. I can see this game being a 3-point game either way. So I'm going to take the Steelers plus the points here. And like Ron alluded to, Mitch Trubisky is definitely an upgrade from Ben Roethlisberger. And this team, we've seen them, they go 9-8 last season. They might.
What's Mitch Trubisky's record as a starting quarterback versus Ben Roethlisberger's record as a starting quarterback? And tell me where this upgrade is.
But this is the thing, though. When you were being coached by Matt Nagy,
I think Ben Roethlisberger's got one of these and one of these, and
you talking about upgrades? Oh man, it's like iPhone 14. It's the same as the iPhone 13, folks. There's no upgrade.
Yeah, but Mitch Trubisky is not the same as Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, but at least Mitch throw a pass 5 yards.
Straight trash.
Trubisky's garbage. Straight trash. They do can't even pass 35 yards.
Here's the pecking order of NFL QBs. You tell me. So here's 1 and here's 32 of today's starting QBs. I'm going to move my finger around. You tell me where to stop. Where Mitch Trubisky
We're not talking about 2010 Big Ben. We're talking about
that's exactly
2020, 2022.
He hurt his team.
I'll talk about Big Ben in 5 years versus Trubisky today.
For real. Big Ben's best year was still.
Rod, just tell me when to stop. Where is he compared to Trey Lance? I mean, I think I'd rather have Trey Lance. At least you have some unknown there. Like with Trubisky, a one-year player in college, 1 year player, and then on the Bears, it was basically like his JV. I mean, this guy is terrible.
I know, he's still an upgrade. It could be any quarterback in the league. It's an upgrade of last year's Big Ben. Career-wise, Big Ben, one of the greats, but not last year. I mean, he couldn't throw the ball past 5 yards.
The same guy that said
it was
Miggy
check down
was
after
done.
check down.
Same guy that said Miggy was done.
Yeah, he is done. He's not good. Look at the Tigers' offense; they're washed.
They got weapons
that's
over
this.
there.
But last year we just
Big
smacking
Ben
those
couldn't
holes.
He
utilize
wasn't that
those
great
guys.
last year either. He wasn't that great, and we argued Trey Turner was better than Miggy. I think we know who's better now.
Miggy. Rod.
For me in this one, I like the over. I think we see some points. We know that the Steelers defense is pretty good, but for me in this, I think the offense is coming. We get some points back and forth. You look at the numbers, and Steelers on the road. Steelers on the road. That's that. If this was in Pittsburgh, that place would be going a little bit more ruckus, and I would like the under, but I like the over. Here is Pittsburgh on the road, 5-1. Their last 6 is a road underdog, and when you look at the Bengals here, that offense is elite. They're going to get some points. They're 8-2-1. Their last 11 is a home favorite to the over. This total is definitely too low. I like the over in this one.
Mills.
And I lean Pittsburgh because I think it's a division game. In these division games, you're going to give me 7.5 points. Thanks. Give me the 7.5 because I think it's closer than that.
Mills.
Man, I'm going to be looking at the under in this game. I'm talking about back in the day from when they had John Kitna and Carson Palmer at quarterback for the Bengals. The Pittsburgh Steelers always play tough no matter when they're playing the Bengals. I can see a lot of field goals in this game. I can see that over 3.5 field goals made for both teams total at this. So I'm going to be leaning with the under. Jamar Chase should definitely get off to a hot start over 5.5 receptions. Love me some fair move. At the tight end spot, he's going to be Mitchell Trubisky's favorite target out there, getting acclimated to this new offense. Mitchell Trubisky probably can't pass 25.5 yards. You're right. Ben Roethlisberger couldn't throw past 17.5 yards last year. But when you talk about upgrades, I don't really think it's a big upgrade. I actually think the rookie Pickett would be the best upgrade for this team once they get acclimated to the new offense.
All right. Al Ninos.
I'm gonna agree with a couple of guys that already made this pick. Disagree with Mills though. I like the over here. I think as I think Ron was saying, the Bengals have a great offense, and Pittsburgh's got some decent receivers too. So see if they can work with Trubisky and get a couple touchdowns for us.
Chris.
Yeah, I like the under here as well. I think 44.5, just a bit too high. I think it's going to finish around 43, 44 points. I think it's going to be a sweat throughout, but these black and blue AFC North Division style games, these are going to be very physical. I think there's going to be a lot of penalties in this one. I think it ends up being a bit lower scoring, so I'm going to take the under 44.5.
Jovan?
Yeah, and I'm on the over in this one. I just think it's a situation where first game of the season, rain's going to be in the forecast. I think when it's raining, by the time the game starts, it's 100% chance of rain. And I think in the situation like that with these teams, you're going to see, some big gains out of the running backs in this one. The fact of the matter is when you're dealing with rain, whoever's running, whether it's the quarterback, the running back, or the wide receiver, once they have the ball, they know where they're going and the defense doesn't. So I think this one goes just over the total. It's 45.
I think this one has the potential to be the biggest blowout of the day. It has that sort of thing written all over it. The Bengals really hate the Steelers, and I think they have the team here to put the absolute screws to them. The Bengals were a Super Bowl team a year ago. The Steelers also ran, and Mitch Trubisky at quarterback. What's going to happen here is you're going to see the ugliest Bengals score over the Steelers in like 50 years, and you're going to hear screaming for Pickett. Is what's going to happen here. The Steelers just do not have a team that can compete here. I do believe that Najee Harris is an upgrade at running back, but when you're playing from behind, when Jamar Chase is getting jiggy with it in your secondary, you're not going to be able to run the football anymore. And then you're going to Mitch Trubisky in a situation where everybody knows he's going to pass against that pass rush and that ball-hawking secondary that intercepted Patrick Mahomes in freaking prime timest go to the Super Bowl moment. They intercepted the greatest quarterback over the last 5 years. They picked him off and went to the Super Bowl in his building. And you think Mitch Trubisky's going to come in and push them around in the jungle? Good freaking luck. Bengals all day and twice on Sunday. Freaking lay the alternate line here. I mean, shellac is what I see in this one. Aside from that, good bunch of guys. Anyways, I don't even see the logic here. Maybe I am way from outer space, but did that not just happen? I mean, did they not go into Kansas City and bust up a team that went to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row with one of the greatest quarterbacks you've ever seen? And you think Mitch Trubisky is going to go into their house on opening freaking day and wipe the floor with them? What world are you freaking living in?
Mitch
I'm missing it, man. I'm just missing
Swatting them boys.
I mean, tomorrow, maybe you guys can rip me apart or whatever, but I don't even see it. I can't even fathom that. Anyways, speaking of superstars, Jared Goff and the Lions take on the Eagles. Ron, let's try and keep it a little brief. I know we're all excited, but it's we're 38 minutes in. We've gone over 3 games.
I just want to let you know.
this would put us on at about 4 o'clock Eastern. I could go on my Trubisky rant if you like.
Well, Mitch Trubisky just moved up my list. He's my new favorite Mitch Trubisky. But Eagles Lions, I like the over.
I could tell you all the Mitch things that you get because I know them all. Mitch the bitch. Mitch I like straight ass. Mitch sucks. Mitch sucks too. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'm going to take the over in the Eagles-Lions game. Lions that last year defensively not very good. Jared Goff plays well in Week 1 games though, and I think this is going to be a higher scoring game. I think we see some garbage time touchdowns from the Lions. So give me the over.
Not my favorite game on the card. And I lean the Eagles in this one. We've seen the Eagles blow the doors off the Lions last year. I think they can get enough with that run game to possibly get us to a touchdown win here. But these are definitely two teams I'd rather be betting on this season than betting against.
Right.
And for me, this one I like the over with Swift running the ball for Detroit. I think he has a nice good day and gets both teams get some points. The over is 8-0 the last 8 meetings between these two teams. Take the over. Opened at 46 up to 48.5. No, that's not enough. I think they get over 50 points in this one. Take the over.
How about you, Mills?
Man, I'm going to be taking the points with the Detroit Lions. They added some new additions to their team. DJ Chark over there. TJ Hawkinson don't got to block no more. Worry about being a blocking tight end. Now they're going to use him as a fully extended wide receiver tight end. DJ Swift should be able to keep healthy on the field. So, I like the coach. I like the moxie that he's bringing. I like the defense additions that they added to the team. And Jalen Hurts is a make-it-believe year for him. Over 46 yards rushing. That's a player prop that I like to get you on top. Also, Devontae Smith over 4.5 receptions. Also like that as well, but I'm taking the points with the Lions.
Alnios.
Yeah, definitely another one that I'm probably not betting myself, but I'm small into the over here. Not much defense and got some decent receivers, so see if these quarterbacks can make them work.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to take the Lions and the points in this one. Believe it or not, as much I don't like Jared Goff. 5-0 against the spread in his career in week 1. And the Lions, the first team in the wild card era, found this stat, the first team in the wild card era to win 3 or less games but cover 60% or more of their games in a season last year. I think, whatever shortcomings this Detroit team may have, they battle hard, and I think they're going to do it today. I like the Detroit Lions plus the points.
Yeah, I would have liked Detroit better if they were getting north of 7, but I'll still take them as a lean in this spot. One thing we know about this ball club, just like Chris alluded to, is that they play hard for their coach. They're never gonna give up, no matter how much they're behind. And we saw it time and time again in this spot, home dog spot, that they would be down 2-3 scores. Next thing you know, they're in position to win the game. So. I think it might be one of those scenarios. 5.5 is still just a little bit too much. Give me the Lions.
I'm with you guys on the Lions. I just think covering the spread at home is what they've done, and Jalen Hurts has got some new weapons, but we can only throw the ball 4 yards. It certainly isn't going to help you if you got to throw the ball downfield to these guys. So I'm going to roll with the Lions in this one, and Jared Goff. Yeah, we had two. Miami. Before we get to this game, I just wanted to say, normally I open the show on September 11th with this, but I just wanted to take a half a second to remember everyone that we lost on September 11th. I lost a lot of good friends on that day. Of course, I used to work in the World Trade Center. I normally, when I'm home, I show you guys all my pictures of the young Mitch with the full head of hair with my World Trade Center, badges and stuff. So I lost a lot of friends that day, and I just like to take a half a second to remember them. And I know, and I say this every year on the show, I know that a lot of the friends that I lost that day were doing the same thing that we're just doing right now. They were just sitting around talking about football, at their desk, having a cup of coffee. The morning was just getting started, and because I used to do that with them, and so I know that's what they were doing, and I miss them all, and we should never forget, man. Never, ever forget. So, all right, we will move on. On this segment, on this game, everyone, if you could just give yourself a small pitch at the end for whatever you have for sale so everyone knows, and be sure to use the code WIN15 when you're purchasing your packages. Everybody, thank you for letting me just take a second away from the football just to say that. It's I know everyone's excited about the games and stuff, but it's something that's important to me. We've got the Dolphins taking on the Patriots. The Dolphins, it used to be win at home. The home team would dominate in this series, but over the last 2 years or so in the post-Tom Brady era, it's just been the Dolphins dominating. Ron, Tua was taken over Justin Herbert in the NFL draft. A lot of people thinking that Tua hasn't really come through. They've given him the keys to the Cadillac this year. And when he had the keys to the Cadillac at Alabama, well, it got ugly for the opposition. Any chance that he can recreate that magic here in Miami?
Yeah, I think the Dolphins laying the 3.5 points was the play that just missed my premium area. I really do like Miami, not only in this game but this season. And we know that the Dolphins play really well against the Patriots at home, and the home team overall in the series has been money. I think they're 14-3-2. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's the number I went over on the rundown against the spread. The home team is in this series, so I don't love I didn't like what I saw from this Patriots starting offense in the preseason. Mac Jones didn't look sharp in preseason. We know we have the new offensive line schemes going on. I don't love what I'm seeing there. So I think this offense struggles early on in the Miami Heat. It's probably going to be a little bit rainy there too, so humid. The Patriots have been there all week, so they've gotten adjusted a little bit. But I still think this is going to be a Dolphins win in the end. I think they win it by a touchdown.
Hey, Briggs.
I'm on them Dolphins too, man. With the new addition of Tyreek Hill, Mr. 10-yard out to a 70-yard touchdown, I think he can really implement that into Tua's game. They also have another dangerous weapon over there in Jalen Waddle. I like their running back group too. And like y'all said, they always play New England tough in Miami. Like, this is one of those series where the home team typically wins. I like Miami to win it here today. I think that they take the step that they're trying to take, and I think they win this one here by a touchdown.
Rod, you trying to head fake people today with the gear, or
Right? Oh, no. I'm all in. I'm taking the Dolphins here. Definitely going to take the Dolphins here. I took the Dolphins on the alternate run line minus the 9.5. I think they win this by 10 or more. I think they blow out the Patriots in this one. You look, Patriots, they're 2-8 hits their last 10 in Miami. And just like you said, that home team 16-5 ATS in the last 21 meetings between these two teams.
Mills?
Miami at home. It's going to be a hot one, humid. Dolphins by a lot.
Yeah, so when I look at this game too, it's going to be a tough divisional game. I definitely lean the Dolphins too. He has one of the most prettiest spirals, that I learned about. And that was when Mitch pointed that out last year, on the show. So I definitely look for him to get newly acquainted with Tyreek Hill. But Jalen Waddle, don't sleep on him. That's my guy from last year. So I'm on Jalen Waddle over 5.5 receptions. I actually think he's going to be they're still primary receiver. I know it's hard to say, but I just think that chemistry that he already has with Tua is there. So, I think Tyreek Hill is going to be the little brother saying, hey, let me into the party.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the ball get thrown downfield today. I think last year we didn't see Tua unload it downfield. I think he does, like you said. I think we see him throw it deep. Al?
Yeah, and whether he connects there or not is might affect this play on my total, but small lean to the under here. But if he connects on those deep balls, this could go over. So just a lean to the under here.
Patriots played him super conservative last year with Mac Jones, especially the game in New England. Chris?
Yeah, I'm on Miami, and this is coming from a Patriots fan. I'm worried about this New England team. Miami, I think they're going to let Tua sort of let loose a little bit here. New coaching staff going to take more shots downfield, and with everyone alluding to how solid Tua's arm is, that's only going to play to their benefit. I think Miami they pretty much owned the Patriots straight up in Miami, and that's when they were an underdog in a lot of those spots. I think the Dolphins win this one comfortably, at least by a touchdown. So I'll lay the points with Miami here.
Jovan?
Yeah, I'm a Patriots fan. And this is probably why this is a homer pick. I'm on the patch. It's a lean, just on it, and everything that everyone's on the panel is what they said is true. Trend stats all point to Miami, but I think that there's a method to Bill Belichick's madness in going down to Miami, early, and I think he's going to get real game plan specific in this one. Keep it keep it close to the vest as far as defensively. Miami might air it out, but they might not want to do that. The Patriots still have a pretty solid defense, so I don't think they want Tua just throwing it around a lot. So if they do that, I think there's going to be a lot of off time passes, and might be a couple interceptions in the mix if they unleash the beast offensively. So I expect either one or two things going to happen. This is either going to be a 3-point game where the hook looms large, or it's going to be a 30-point blowout. And I'm going to lean towards the 3-point win either way.
As I said at the beginning of the show, and as most people know, I'm a Dolphins season ticket holder. I haven't been to a game in a million years, but I am a Dolphins season ticket holder, and I know that this is the most excited they've ever been about that. So about this team ever. This is like the most excitement surrounding the Dolphins since Don Shula was hired as head coach. So I think that I think the crowd is going to be there. The crowd's going to be into it. I don't think that generally affects Bill Belichick teams. I think Belichick's going to try and play keep away from that Dolphin offense, but the Dolphin defense is also upgraded and pretty good too. I think one of the things that we saw from the Dolphins is they've upgraded their offensive line. And I think that's going to give Tua the time to throw the ball. And also they got a good tight end who I think is the first touchdown prop as well in this one. Gesicki. Anyways, yeah, I like Gesicki, first touchdown. We know
what Belichick does. He'll put two guys on the hill.
We go to our Brian Bittler game. We got the Jets taking on the Ravens here. Bittler was here. We'd be hearing about just how good Joe Flacco looks. Ron, you think Joe Flacco is a good-looking man?
Oh, I think he's a very good-looking man, but I think he's a miserable quarterback. So I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens. They're fast starters. They play very well in week 1. I don't trust Flacco at quarterback, so give me the Ravens laying the points.
Selling anything today?
Yes, I do. I have a 3-pack, my top 2 NFL plays and an MLB play, or you can just get my NFL play of the day, which is by far my favorite play on the board. Could be one of my favorite plays in the NFL season already, so you can check that out at Pick Dogs Premium.
I think Ron had the across-the-board casher yesterday with his premiums. I think he didn't win every game, but just the way that it's set up, he just gave people out a lot of winners that haven't got their money's worth. Jay, what do you think of this game?
I'm gonna lean to the Jets plus the points in this one. It's just a lean at best. Lamar at odds with the Ravens. It just doesn't sit right with what's going on in that locker room. The Jets, they shown improvement last year. I know Flacco's in there today, but I kind of like that revenge angle with him against the team he won a Super Bowl for. So I'm just gonna lean to the Jets a little bit, just a lean at best. Today at Pick Dogs, I got 6 NFL plays up there for you guys today, premium wise, and I got my $15 MLB best bet. I got all my NFL plays broken down in like different packages. I got a late window, I got an early window, I got a mega pack. I got my best bet, so you can't go wrong, man. But the best way is to hop on a long-term package, man. That's probably the best value you can find. That's what I got going on today.
We got a lot of spammers in the comments from the Screen Variety TV. Do you think them spamming the comments is going to make all you guys go over there and watch them? I mean, I don't understand the logic of the YouTube comment spam. It must work because 1 million people seem to do it, but this guy seems to Screen Variety TV. I've never even heard of it, but maybe we should go over there and spam the crap out of them someday. Anyways, Mills or Rod. Ravens against the Jets, the Jetropolitans.
Maybe if Strebler was the starting quarterback and not Flacco, I might be taking the Jets, but not with Flacco in there. And Flacco starting as QB, that sounds disastrous. Nothing good comes from Flacco starting a QB for the Jets. This just sounds like a total beatdown.
Is Peters healthy?
If this was a fight, they're going to stop it early.
Are the
Is who?
They have all those secondary guys, right, on the Ravens. They have like all those really sick guys in the secondary.
Oh, it's Flacco's in trouble.
But Humphrey, right? Really have
and Lamar's got a chip on his shoulder. He's going to come out here with his chip on his shoulder, and he's
chips on NFL Sundays. Give me. Mills, what do you? Oh, did you say what you're selling?
Definitely chips.
You say what you're selling, Rod?
And for me today, I've got my NFL Sunday big ticket. I got a nice five pack over at Pick Dogs Premium, or you can also get my top rated play sold alone, my 10-star NFL mega money blast My top rated play. It's an afternoon game. Scoop it up for $20, or I've got a bunch of, like I said, 5 morning games on my NFL Sunday big ticket, and I got one play in the MLB. So didn't forget about baseball. I got one play over there, top rated play. Grab my $15 rookie buster over at Big Dogs Premium, and don't forget to use code WIN15. Save 50% off all your purchases over at Big Dogs.
I love comments like this. I get these all the time. People email me this, and people leave this like in my chat and stuff like this, that something somebody said or something they did, I would never buy their picks. You don't need to tell us excuses as to why you don't buy picks. We understand that buying picks is not for everybody. And that's why, how much free content do we have versus paid content? I would say we're 95 to 98% free content versus premium content. Right? I'd say 98% free versus 2% paid. You don't have to make an excuse because Jay leaned to the Jets. He didn't say it was a premium pick. He didn't say anything like that. It's like, if the people that say things like this, you aren't going to buy anyway. It's okay. It's okay. We have tons of free stuff for you. And that's why we have tons of free stuff, because we understand some people are only betting $2 a game. It doesn't make sense to spend $50 for a pick, or $20 or $15, right? If you're betting $2 a game. Right? It doesn't make any sense at all. We understand that. That's why we have free picks. We're not about like selling picks. We have it because people ask us, what are your best bets? Right? Even we have picks for sale. Every one of these guys on the show gets DMs every day. Which one do you like the best? What pick? What's your best bet? Just tell me. I know, it's like, we know this. And, they'll say, get my picks at the site. Right? And that's the answer. I just can't stand that. Mills. Hammer fist.
All right, man. Here we come, man. We're coming to smash everybody, man. Just like how we doing right now. 600 live viewers in the chat. Shout out to y'all, man, on this Sunday morning, kicking off this NFL Sunday season. Y'all could be anywhere, drinking coffee, listen to the radio, but you're right here with us. Ravens versus the Jets. All right, man. Neither of these teams like to pass it really down the field too deep. Lamar Jackson lost his main target, Marquise Brown. On top of that, you got Joe Flacco in there. I'm not trusting that. They had Mitchell White, that other kid, maybe, a reliable more starter. So I'm going to be taking the under on this game. And another player prop I like, Elijah Moore over his reception prop.
Selling any picks today?
Yes, sir. I got 2 big plays on the board. I got my NFL big bet of the day. Then I got my NFL money play. One of them is going to be on a later game kicking off. And then the next one's going to be on the 4 p.m. Eastern game. So definitely get those 2 plays. Team me up with your favorite capper, and let's make this money.
Al Ninos?
Yeah, again, lean on the total here. I'm gonna go. Sorry, I hate to disagree with Mills again, but I'm gonna lean over here. I just don't see the Jets slowing the Ravens down, and I think the number is a bit too low here. So I think they might. If you like the under, I'd probably be looking at the Jets team total under, but I can't take this full game under myself. And yeah, on the site, definitely didn't forget about baseball. Got a 3-pack there, and got a 5-pack for the first NFL Sunday, so definitely looking forward to today. And yeah, you can check those out, or definitely get one of the long-term passes to get all the action that way.
Yeah, for me today, I'm gonna go with the Ravens in the first half. I think they're gonna come out flying. I might go with them full game as well, but I just think that this is a Jets team. It's fairly green, except for, no pun intended, but except for Joe Flacco. I don't expect him to have an easy time getting the ball to these Jets receivers. And I just expect the Ravens to come out flying. Like a couple guys mentioned earlier, they're well coached and they're usually fast starters. And I think they're going to do the same here against against the Jets today. I think Lamar comes out with a bit of a point to prove. So give me the Ravens first half and full game. And for sale today, I got a pair of $15 plays, one in the NFL, one in the MLB. Also got a 5-pack for the NFL, including a Sunday night game, as well as 3 plays throughout the afternoon. I also got an MLB 3-pack as well at Pick Dogs. And make sure you hop on something long-term, get everything, one play, and get yourself some extra value there by adding on a couple days as well. Use that promo code WIN15.
Yeah, I'm
Jovan.
on the Ravens. I'm on the Ravens in this one. I'm expecting a Joe Flacco 3-interception performance. Maybe one of those go for a pick 6. I think it's just gonna be an ugly situation for the New York Jets. If it was Zach Wilson, maybe it'd be different. Maybe they keep it within the score, but I just don't like what Joe Flacco has to offer. The secondary's fully intact for the Ravens, and I think they're going to ball out in this one. So Baltimore it is.
Yeah, I look at this Baltimore defense, and I kind of alluded to it at the beginning of when we started going over this, and I just don't see how there's going to be much point scoring in this game. Justin Houston, and then you got Marcus Peters, who's questionable here, and then you've got Marlon Humphrey. So you got two sick corners, and then Calais Campbell bringing the pass rush, and with Justin Houston, who's pretty much a flat-out pass rusher, and then Patrick Queen, who's a and I'm not going to say he is Ray Lewis, but he is a sideline-to-sideline linebacker. So you have all sorts of problems there for an immobile quarterback, and for a quarterback whose best days with his arm might be about 8 to 10 years ago. So I think that the Ravens certainly, I think Harbaugh certainly, has probably a friendship and whatever with Joe Flacco, but I think for those 3 hours today, he's not. And I think that I think we're not going to see I think that unless the Ravens can get there themselves, I think we're going to go under that 44.5. Got the Commanders. Oh, Carson Wentz is playing. All right. We got so Mitch Trubisky and Trey Lance get a little bit of a reprieve for a minute here. And Joe Flacco. We got Carson Wentz playing with the big boys today, the varsity, up against the Jaguars. Ron, I don't know. I never understand a lot of these moves, that teams make, and it's kind of like, are you better off like starting from scratch and like going with something, or do you just go out and get a guy like Carson Wentz, who basically the Colts were looking for a place to get rid of this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Carson Wentz, is he better than Taylor Heineke? I guess maybe a little bit. And I think this Washington.
No, he is better than Heineke, but is he the direction that you want to go?
No, I mean, he's obviously not going to be the future. I think Washington realize they need to realize
cheap. He's not like a cheap fill-in.
No, he's not. But they trust in their defense to have a bounce back year where they just need a solid quarterback to go in there. But I don't think it's enough overall this year. I think there's two much better teams in that division. But in this particular game, this is a tough one. This is probably my least favorite game on the board. I lean towards the under in this one. I think the Jaguars defense steps it up this year. I think Washington's defense, like I said, bounces back from a pretty disappointing season. I mean, in 2020, when the Commanders made the playoffs, that defense was the real deal. You had Chase Young going crazy. Now he'll be banged up for a little bit, but still, this defense was such a disappointment last year. 26 points allowed per game. I think they bounced back. I think they've still got a good group on paper, and I think this is going to be a solid defensive game. So give me the under in this one.
How about you, Jay?
I lean towards the Jags in this one. I think the Jags improve. They had an off season without dealing with all that turmoil that they was dealing with last off season with Urban Meyer. I think they got an adult in the building with Doug Peterson, somebody who's been there, who's been to a Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl with the Eagles of all teams, And when he did it, he had subpar quarterback play. I think he's elevated that now with Trevor Lawrence, and I think Trevor Lawrence shows us why he was arguably the number one recruited college quarterback ever. I still believe in Trevor Lawrence. I think he still has some steps to take in his growth, and I think they can easily get over these trash Commanders today, or the trash no-name team. I don't like Washington, whatever they call themselves. I think they lose today to the Jags.
Rod?
And for me in this one, I'm gonna take the Jags as well. Carson Wentz. I don't trust Carson Wentz. I think Washington's future will be in Sam Howell if he can once he gets in there. That's the future that the Washington's looking at. So for me, I'm going to take the Jags. You look at the road underdogs that have failed to make the playoffs the following year in week one. Road underdogs, 73, 46-1. I'm going to take the Jags plus the points in this one. I don't know if they win it outright, but they keep it close.
Mills?
So the Jaguars got a lot of new additions to the team. You know, they got who they get? They got the wide receiver over there from Arizona. They got Zay Jones that they added. They got Evan Ingram that they added, right? They got some good defensive pieces too. They got the linebacker from Atlanta, Olo Quali or something like that, right? They got a lot of that. They got James Robinson back in their lineup, right? They got Travis Etienne coming to finally play and start, right?
Number 1 overall
Hell
pick,
no,
too.
man. Let's get it out of here, man. I'm a Jaguars fan, but I'm a realist. I got the Commanders in here, man. Go ahead and lay the points. They're gonna cover it, man. Commanders gonna, man. I'm not believing in anything in my Jaguars. I even got my Jaguars under 6 wins. All right, it is what it is. I can't believe until I see something. All right, so I'm on the Commanders in this game. And I can't believe everybody's on my Jaguars. Everybody on the panel, everybody I've seen in discourse, everybody. Dogs. Don't get it twisted. Antonio Gibson is not that bad of a running back. Carson Wentz, I think, is gonna, help them out a little bit. If Logan Thomas
He sucks.
stay healthy.
He
He
sucks.
does.
I
He
mean,
does. But he has
Carson Wentz sucks.
All right,
His like every quarterback has a career-defining moment, and Carson Wentz is throwing a 7-yard out on 3rd and 9. You know,
I
it's like
believe
that's
that
what he
Carson-
does. I mean, that's
I
when
think
you see
Carson
him.
Wentz
Just
is
like
a
I see
better-
Morton Anderson kicking that game-winning field goal in the Falcons-Saints game, even though he's been retired for 10 years. It's like I see Carson Wentz throwing a 7-yard pass or a 6-yard pass on 3rd and 9.
just
There's
throwing it
certain
out of
guys
bounds.
that just never get it. They just never get it. It never clicks.
My whole
And
thing
that's
is
why.
this.
And that's why, even with Michael Pittman as his wide receivers and T.Y. Hilton, you got to go. That's what they said. They gave him. You're talking about Gibson. This guy had one of the greatest rookie running backs that I mean, this guy was unstoppable. The Jonathan Taylor last year. Oh my God, man! And you're going to put Gibson in the same category of that? It's like
one thing I forgot to mention. Did y'all not remember what the Jags did to Carson Wentz to end his season last year? Just go back and look at that. Ended the Colts season. Carson Wentz looked absolutely terrible, like a deer in headlights.
Anyways, it's okay. I know Mills is trying to mute his Jaguar enthusiasm, and by the way, Romanelli feels that the younger Etienne is the better Etienne.
Oh, I was joking. He did look good yesterday, though.
He did look good. He did look good. Not as fast. He does not have that He does not have that step that his older brother has. I mean,
it's still early though.
Etienne's I would say that Etienne for the Jaguars today is the most exciting running back to hit the field as a home run hitter since Ezekiel Elliott's rookie year.
So
that's
when
what
you drafted
I would say
him,
that's
I
the
was so
comparison.
happy. Exactly.
Just bang. Yep. It's like he hits the hole. If he sidesteps the linebacker, no one's going to catch him. And he's also a bull in the china shop in the secondary. So it's like,
he's Westbrook out there, catching those receptions and stuff. We line him up a lot as receivers, so that's why we got rid of LaVisca.
He is a home run hitter. Al Ninos is a home run hitter.
That's right. And as Mills said, looks like they picked up a couple home run hitters here in Jacksonville. But yeah, definitely that defense still needs to be worked on. That worries me a little bit in this pick, but I do think the value's on the Jaguars here. Even it's up to a field goal now, so that's a little bit tempting against a team that doesn't have much of an offense going, but still think there's a lot of value on the money line as well.
Carson Wentz sucks.
I'm not disputing that, but I'm going to go with the under here. I think Wentz did have some issues against this Jacksonville defense last season, like Jay mentioned earlier. I think he was sacked 6 times in that season finale. Whether or not that was about the Colts offensive line doesn't change the fact that he's had issues, and I don't expect him to resolve those issues here. But on the other side, Trevor Lawrence, I think he's going to take steps in the right direction, but it's still going to be a slow start for both of these teams. I think this one struggles to get to 30 points, let alone up into the 40s. So give me the under between the Jags and the Commanders.
Jovan.
Yeah, no way I'm putting my money on Carson Wentz. It's not happening. I fade him any chance I get. And I think this is a good spot of a value play on Jacksonville. So I'm taking the money line, get a little bit of plus money in this one.
Yeah, I'm going with the under in this one. Those Commanders games, or whoever they are, the Eskimos or the football team or whatever, they always look so ugly, these games, right? I think that this could be one where the books might do okay, because it's one of those ones that it's like, I don't know if the money line gets it done for the Jaguars, but the Commanders playing those weird, kind of like that. I felt about that Iowa game yesterday. It's just like these weird scoring games, right? And it didn't get to that weird score yesterday, but it just got to because nobody scored, right? But in this one, I think it could be one of those weird games. It certainly, sets up for that sort of thing. And Doug Peterson has no problem making decisions that make no sense to anybody in regard to the current score of the game. We've seen it a million times. That coach. Anyways, we go to the next game on the board. This is fun. I mean, it's taken a while, but yeah, it's week 1. We got the Panthers and the Browns, the Baker Mayfield show in town in Carolina, up against his old team, who probably could use him right now. Ron Romanelli, little Baker Mayfield for you.
No, I'm actually going to have to run after this one, but I think you look at Cleveland Browns last year, very good offensive line, great running backs in Chubb and Hunt, and you got a good defensive line. All the defense had its moment, did struggle in the second. I don't think any easier for Mayfield, who was the reason didn't make, in my opinion, last year. He had a rough year. I mean, only a 17-13 touchdown interception ratio. He made a lot of mistakes in the big crucial moments in close games, and I don't like him in this spot against his former team. I know he might want to put on a show against them. I know the Panthers are at home, but I still think the Browns are the better team. Jacoby Brissett's not a great quarterback, but he's a guy that can at least hand the ball off to two of the more talented running backs in the league. He can make the situational throws. I think they give him short down situations, and I think the Browns win this game. So I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns on the money line.
All right. So any of these other late games you said had to run, any of these other games you just want to point anything out about? And also, if you could tell Grandma to send me over take one of those leftover chicken parms and throw it on a little hoagie roll for me. I'll heat it up when it gets here.
She's probably watching right now, but I just want to point out that we look at that Packers game later on. Green Bay was about 1.5 point favorites this entire week, but now I'm seeing Vikings -2 in some spots. So pretty interesting stuff there. I like the Vikings early on in the week, laying 2 points. I'm not sure how much I like that, but I am seeing quite a bit of public affection for the Vikings as well. So I'll have to see.
All right.
Grandma, send him that chicken parm.
All right. We got Jay Briggs. What do you think of this one, Panthers-Browns?
Not my favorite game on the board. Like we discussed on our show earlier in the week, this is one that doesn't make the TV today, but I'm gonna lean with Baker to get his revenge against the Browns. We seen that this Panthers team started out their season last year 4-0. McCaffrey's back in the lineup. I think that'll give Baker some significant help back there. I like what DJ Moore has in his tool bag. I don't know. I'm not in love with Brissett back there at quarterback for the Browns. So much controversy just going on with that Browns. Just they had a hard off season with so much going on. I don't like them. I think this is a bad spot. I think Baker gets his revenge. I'm going to take the Panthers to win this one.
Rod?
And for me in this one, I'm going to take the under. I think both teams are going to run the ball a lot and chew a whole bunch of clock. Chubb's going to run the ball. McCaffrey's going to run the ball. And you look at the Browns, 4-0 to the under. Because don't sleep on that Browns defense. They're still pretty good. They had no controversy back there dealing with who's going to start a quarterback. They know that they're going to pin their ears back and come running after Mayfield all day today. They get to hit their old quarterback? Nice. That defense is going to be wide awake and ready to rush Mayfield every chance they get. So I like the under here. Both teams lower scoring and both teams run the ball. So and I think this is going to be a hard-hitting defensive battle more than the offenses are going to shine in this one. Give me the under.
Mills.
Yeah, man. The Carolina Panthers, man, picked up a lot of players from the Jacksonville Jaguars within the last 2 years. So when it comes down to this, I actually just look at it like a money line spot. It's pretty much a pick 'em. And if you're going to ask me who am I going to pick in this game, I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers just to win, just based off the quarterback play. I like DJ Moore, out there in the backfield, out there catching passes from Baker Mayfield. But the better thing that I like is going to be Christian McCaffrey. Baker Mayfield doesn't really throw down the field too much. So I look for his reception prop to definitely come in and cash. And I'll be taking the Carolina Panthers.
Al Ninos.
Yeah, I like a lot of props here. I like a lot of McCaffrey props and maybe some Nick Chubb props as well. And the only thing again that worries me about this pick here is if they run the clock to death, but I'm still gonna lean to the over.
Yeah,
Chris?
personally, yeah, for me, I'm not gonna lay a 1.5 with a team that's 0-16-1 straight up in their last 17 series openers. I'm gonna ride with the Carolina Panthers here. I think, Baker Mayfield wants to stick it to his old team. Granted, the Browns know him fairly well, but I think this is going to be the Christian McCaffrey show today. I think the Panthers get it done, so I'll take the Panthers plus 1.5.
Jovan.
Yeah, I'm on the Browns in this one. It's a tough game to handicap, but at the end of the day, the Browns know Mayfield, and I think that's going to be the difference. I think he's going to make a couple of mistakes, getting a little bit too amped up for this game, and I think it backfires on him. So I'm on the Browns.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Panthers here. I just don't like Brissett at QB. I don't love this game. I said that earlier in the week on the NFL show. So I'm going to stick with it. Stick with it that I don't like this game. Our last of the 1 o'clock Eastern time starts. We got the Texans hosting the Colts. And, the new look for the Colts, but man, do they have a lot of weapons on offense. And of course, one of the best defenders in the league that, no one ever really talks about as one of the best defenders in the league. Actually got a few of them on that defense. So Colts could be under the radar, but on the radar team this season. Let's see who's up first. Is Jay Briggs now? He's a leadoff batter.
Yes, sir. All right. I thought
It's Colts Texans.
Texans is the game that I'm looking at. Is the team I'm looking at here in this game. I just think that
Hey, Briggs, it's starting to get a Homer theme going here. It's like Texas, UTSA, Texas Tech, the Texans. Where the Cowboys at? I don't know.
No, this was not really a homer.
A little Baylor
I
action
promise.
for you. A little TCU.
Yeah, I got burnt last night on Baylor, but
what's it, frogs?
I don't think it's gonna be peaches and roses for these Colts, man. This is another divisional game.
Kick them.
App State, but I like the Texans. I think they should cover this point spread today, man. I really do. I know that like you alluded to, I know the Colts got Jonathan Taylor. I know the new addition Matt Ryan, but I'm just not gonna open up just peaches and roses. Like it's not gonna be it's not gonna be just the Colts are not gonna be the best team in the NFL like everybody is trying to make them out to be. When you go back and look at the analytics from last season, Carson Wentz wasn't that bad for the Colts. He really wasn't when you go back and look at the analytics. I know we like to bang on him, but analytically he wasn't that bad. And I don't know if Matt Ryan is going to take 2 steps forward from Carson Wentz in this offense. I really just don't see it. Matt Ryan's on the older side. I like the Texans to cover this point spread. And y'all leave me alone in the comments, man.
Al Ninos.
I'm gonna get Jay's back on this one. Colts must still be under my radar. I was never have been a big believer, and I don't know. It's gonna take a bit of convincing before I jump on them. So I'll take my touchdown with the Texans here. Definitely not my favorite play, but and probably one I'm staying away but off of. Sorry, but I like the points here.
How about you, Ruffalo?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Texans here as well. The Colts slow starters over the years, 1-12-1 against the spread in their last 14 week 1 matchups, and 0-4 straight up under Frank Reich. I don't think the Colts lose this game, but I think that the Texans want to come out with a bit of a strong start here. I think Davis Mills is going to show signs of improvement this season. May not be much more than a 5 or 6 win team, but I think it's still going to be steps in the right direction for the Texans. So I'm going to go with the Texans plus the points here, especially getting the hook on that touchdown.
Rod?
And for me, I'm going to go with the under. I don't see a whole lot of scoring in this one. I think we're going to see a whole lot of running the ball. You look at the Colts; they are 8-1 to the under their last 9 versus the AFC South. And you look at the last 6 meetings in Houston, 6-0 to the under. Lower scoring one in this one. I like the under. 20 points. 17-14 final score.
Mills.
Yeah, Matt Ryan over there with the Colts. He definitely got some better receivers to throw to. Got a definitely better running game and offensive line. I like the new addition that they picked up, Alec Pierce. He made it to the starting roster as the third wide receiver. I look for him to go over reception props. Look for him to be like a C- version of Cooper Kupp. Another thing I got a future bet on the Indianapolis Colts to go to the playoffs, and I also got them over 9 wins. I actually think, man, Matt Ryan and the Colts are going to be a real solid sleeper team this year.
Jovan. Can't hear you. Yep. Nope. You're muted now. Unmuted.
Yeah, technical difficulties. Yeah, so I like a low scoring game in this one. You know, dealing with a Lovie Smith team, you know, defense is going to be at the forefront, and I think they show a few things on the defensive end. And the Colts, they're one of the better defensive teams as well in this league. So, give me the under for week 1 in this matchup.
Yeah, I like the Colts in this one. I think they just blow the doors off the Texans. I just think they're a much more talented team, though. Peterson, everyone knows, man, that Colts, right? I mean, my wife's
Colts.
my wife's thing, you know, it's like he goes into that prevent, so laying that hook, you know, it's a little, you know, it's why it's not a premium for me. We go to the next one. That Colts. Go finally make it to the later games. 4:25 Tennessee Titans against the Giants. Jay?
Earlier in the week, I don't know. I don't like this game. Earlier in the week, I was leaning Giants. I think I still lean Giants, but I can see Tennessee scoring this touchdown. The line itself just screams trap. Why is it 5.5 for the number 1 team of the AFC at home?
Because they lost all their receivers.
I still, you know, that's the line. Just the line tells me alone to take the Giants, but it's not. I'm gonna stay away from this.
Well, if you look at some of these lines this morning, they are on the move. You know, speaking of that, the Dolphins down to 3 against the Patriots. I see them 2.5 in spots.
See, I lean on the Giants, but
El Niños. We'll see what this one looks like around 4:00 Eastern time. That line.
Yeah, that went through the number 3. It went both ways, huh? It went from 2.5 to 3.5, and now back down to 2.5. That's some pretty wild moves.
That's betting for you.
Yeah, you don't see that too often though across the 3 like
in
that.
Week 1, you see all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyways, what do you got?
For this one, yeah, I like the Titans a lot here. I mean, I would need at least a touchdown to consider the Giants, and yeah, I just think they're a much better team. I think they can just run the ball on them, and I think Derrick Henry could win this game by himself. Really, no, that's I don't know. Obviously, they got some decent weapons too, but I think, yeah, as I said, Derrick Henry, I think he's going to give the Giants a lot of problems. I like the Titans here laying the points a lot.
Ruffalo?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Giants and the points.
Oh, we kind of changed orders here, didn't we?
Yeah, that's why I was kind of thrown off a little bit, but yeah, I still like the Giants and the points. I think, you know, I know it's Daniel Jones, and we've made money fading him in the past, but this is the healthiest his offense has been, I think, maybe since the start of his career. And, you know, I think Brian Dabble, you know, we saw what he did in Buffalo. I think he can do some magic in New York as well. You know, I just want to see how the Titans adjust, you know, with no A.J. Brown and working Treylon Burks into the fold. And I think the Titans will be fine down the road, but I think the Giants can keep this one within 4 or even 3 points in week 1. So give me the Giants and the points.
Rod?
For me, I like the under. I don't think we're going to see a high-scoring shootout in this game. You know, look at Tennessee, 5-1 to the under their last 6 games. They're also in week 1. So I think we're going to lower-scoring one, and our defenses are a little better. The offenses get rolling.
I can see Tennessee.
Sorry.
21-6-1 to the under the last 28. Tennessee 21-6-1 to the under their last 28 at home. And you look at the Giants on grass, 6-0 to that under. So low scoring one, take the under.
Mills?
I can see the Titans winning by a touchdown in there. And then a player prop that I like, I'll go with Shepard for the Giants over his reception prop as well. But yeah, there's no way I'm betting on the Giants as long as they got that quarterback named Jones back there.
Jovan? Jovan?
Yeah, so I'm on the over in this one. You can see me, hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, so I'm on the over in this one. With the Tennessee Titans, they just usually find themselves in these weird games where they give up a lot of points and they have to, come back, or they'll be up and then just give up a lot of points. And it's usually at home. So yeah, I like it. I like for this total. It's a strange total, 43.5, but I think it goes over that.
Picked up something, from doing those halftime shows all these years and about the Tennessee Titans. And I think Jovan is right, is that you see them usually put themselves in a bad spot. And then it's whether they can dig themselves out or not. And a lot of times they basically, the reason why they're successful last year is they wear teams down, right? It's like, that's what they do. They wear you down and then they confuse you. And they just when the other team thinks they're comfortable, they hit you with a home run. And it's been Derrick Henry has been hitting people with those home runs for quite some time now. But what we see from the Titans, and this is what really, if you're thinking about putting one dime of your hard-earned money on Daniel Jones, this is one thing that you got to really look at. And I watch a lot of football, and I mean, we talk about these games at halftime, and boy, I remember every bit of this. These guys seem to tip more passes than anybody, these Titans. They tip more balls in the secondary than any team in the NFL. And what we saw against like the Steelers game last year was like in the first half, those tips fell to the ground. In the second half, those tips fell in their arms. And with Daniel Jones throwing the ball, I like my chances of the tips falling in the Titans' arms. I think in this one, the Titans' defense outscores the Giants alone. I don't even think you have to worry about the offense. Go to the next one. I think a lot of the people that think they're smarter than everybody else have the Giants in this one. And I'm not saying you guys or whatever, but I'm just saying the general tone of this one. But it's at the end of the day, it's Daniel Jones on his very last leg here.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, there's no way.
It's just, he's got it's a bad quarterback with pressure on him now, right? Because he hears.
I mean, he was bad. I mean, he got drafted in the first round. If he got drafted in the sixth round, no pressure. Everybody wouldn't.
Well, if he was drafted in the sixth round, he'd be out of the league.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't have the contract. He'd be out of the league.
True. Yeah.
So,
playing that horrible. Yeah.
He's not good. And it's like we can make excuses for him, with offensive line and all of these other things, but the reality is he's a poor decision maker, and he doesn't have the skill set.
Yeah.
Which is why you end up at Duke instead of at Alabama or something, right?
Just like Mitchell Trubisky played at North Carolina. Two quarterbacks played at fucking dominant basketball colleges. Come on now, man. They got drafted high in the first round.
I mean, Ryan Tannehill's no gem at quarterback either. And it's going to be interesting to see what he is without, Brown and, Julio Jones.
I think Willis gets that spot by week 11.
But he's got a guy that he can give the ball to and pretty much depend on him. Got the Vikings taking on the Packers. Romanelli talked about this game before he left, and he said that he felt that the line movement in this game was fairly interesting. Jay, what do you think? Vikings now favored in this one by 1.5.
I agree with Ron. When we did our NFL show earlier in the week, I was all over the Vikings at +3. And then came to 2.5. I liked them. I still like them plus the money. And even here today, I still like the Vikings to win the game outright. I like them to win it by a field goal. So at 2, not my favorite number, but I still go with the Vikings at that 3. At that 2. So that's where I'm leaning. I just think Aaron Rodgers lost the number 1 receiver in the league. It's not something easy to replace. And he also lost Zadarius Smith, who is now with the Minnesota Vikings. I just think this Viking team gives this Packers team a run for the money for the division, and I think this Vikings team is way healthier than they were last season. That building's going to be rocking today. Give me the Vikings.
El Niños?
Yeah, I mean it's again another significant line move, and I'm not sure I like the Vikings enough to justify that move. But should they be favorites? Maybe, but I mean again, leaning Vikings here, leaning over, but yeah, not in a rush to bet against Aaron Rodgers. I mean he can make any receiver look pretty good. So yeah, one I'll definitely be watching, but leaning Vikings.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Packers here for Aaron Rodgers. It's been there, done that, and I know the Vikings made a ton of moves to improve that offense. Still got Justin Jefferson, still got Dalvin Cook as well, but Aaron Rodgers usually plays well in these early division games. 6-0 straight up, 5-1 against the spread in his career in Week 1 division games. So I'll go with the Packers in this one.
Right.
Also, don't forget about that egg they laid last year, Week 1. The Packers.
Packers have been slow starters plenty of times. Rod?
For me in this one, what we haven't talked about is this Packers defense. It's for real, and it's going to be one of the top 5 defenses in the NFL this season. And just watch for it. This Packers D is going to shut down this Vikings.
They're going to be
team.
tested. They're going to be tested.
They're going to be tested here today. Yeah, this is a big test for them. Today.
Tough building. Tough building.
Yep. When that big horn goes off, and the crowd goes nuts. It's
Rod Zawacki to blow the Geiger horn.
Right? So the place is going to be rocking. And for me, look at the Vikings D. It was awful. They gave up 400 points last season. The season before that, they gave up another 400 points. And now you're going to try to change the whole new scheme. Good luck. Aaron Rodgers, the Vikings secondary is awful. Awful. I don't care who he's got throwing. He can have Ruppolo throwing, receiving the ball, and he'll find them wide open. Because the secondary on the Vikings is just awful. And we know the MVP is going to come out there and he'll pick them apart. And the Packers win it late. So late touchdown. I think it's close, and I think we get back and forth. Probably see it over because I think we see some points. But nah, I'm going to take the Packers here. Packers get the win. It looks like all the sharps are enamored. Right. I think Bittler's on the Vikings, so we're definitely going to take the Packers here.
All right, so yeah, got to head out after this game, but in this game, man, I got to
head out too, so we're gonna have to make it moving.
I'll be looking at the giant purple people eaters in this game right here. When it comes down to it, man, I just can't trust those receivers from the Packers. I do believe, yes, Aaron Rodgers will make these receivers pretty much household names by the end of the year. But give me some Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson and Davion Cook. I like Davion Cook anytime touchdown. It's probably at a -115, -125, but that's what I'm leaning. And Adam Thielen over 4.5 receptions. Got to take out, but appreciate everybody for rocking with us. Like I said, moving numbers over here, big numbers in the chat. Everybody hit that like button. Hopefully we win some bets and have a great day.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Mills. As always, we appreciate it. Fun having you. And of course, next week. Jovan, what do you like here?
Yeah, I'm on Green Bay. The fact of the matter is Green Bay's going to lean on their defense, and they're going to be run dominant. And Aaron Rodgers, he's going to do what Aaron Rodgers does, which is make receivers better. So, end of the day, I'm on the Packers money line.
I think I'm gonna go with the Packers. Early, I was kind of like leaning Vikings earlier in the week, but I think I'm gonna go with the Packers getting the points. I just think Aaron Rodgers finds a way. I think the first half I would take the Vikings though for sure. We go to our next game, and it is the Cardinals and the Chiefs. We got Patrick Mahomes visiting Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. We know Jay Briggs big on Kyler Murray, but the line in this thing has moved 3.5 points from the open with the Chiefs now 6.5 point favorites in this one. What do you think?
I'm taking my points with the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals.
You got 2 Texas guys here. Mahomes is a Texas guy too.
Yeah, he is for sure. But I'm gonna lean with the Cardinals in the points. I just think people forget that how strong that the Cardinals started out last season. Midway through the season, the Cardinals were the number 1 team. Then they start dealing with a lot of injuries and things like that. I just think I don't know. This is not my favorite game on the board. I don't like fading the Chiefs very often, but I just think there's too many points on the road for the Chiefs to handle. So give me the Arizona Cardinals plus the point.
Al?
Yeah, I think this is definitely one you want to tune in. I mean, definitely going to be one of the games of the day, and I think definitely led by two very capable quarterbacks. Pretty big total, but rightfully so, and I think this one goes over with both offenses getting going.
We got 2 on the Vikings now. Rod.
For me in this one here, I think the Chiefs come out and get themselves a win. This is up to or it's down to 6 in places. So I don't know. I think there's just too many injuries on the Cardinals. I think the Chiefs come out and I like the over better. I think both offenses come and shine and we get some points. The Chiefs can score some points. We know that. Chiefs 7-0 to the over in week 1. So we know the Cardinals can score some points as well. 5-1 to the over on grass and head to head. Home team is the favorite. I think there's just too many injuries. So for me, I lean the Chiefs, but I like the over better. Give me the over 54. I think we see a whole pile of points in this one.
Chris.
Yeah, I'm on the over as well. I think this is just going to be a high-scoring game. I think these are 2 of the more impressive offensive units, at least on the top strings in the NFL. And yeah, I just think this is a game that sees both teams get into the 30s, an offensive clinic to kick off the season for both. So yeah, I like the over as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna shorten this play to the halftime. First half Chiefs, just cut down the point spread, and I think they get up on Arizona. Kind of don't like what's going on in Arizona with the Kyler Murray hoopla, and he's gonna be a lot of pressure on them. So I think they come out flat in the first half. So that's where I'm at with it. Chiefs first half.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a shootout. I like the over in this one. 2 good quarterbacks and 2 high-powered offenses. I think the Chiefs have something to prove this year after not going to the Super Bowl last year, and they know that I picked them to not make the playoffs, so that's probably going to motivate the offense. And then the Cardinals, I think, had that meltdown the second half of the season. They had the best record through the first half, so I'm going to roll with the over in this one. We go to our next game, and this one's going to be the Chargers against the Raiders. Jay, what are you thinking?
We saw this game to close out the season last year. It was a winner go home type game. Winner makes playoffs, loser go home, and we seen the result. The Raiders sent the Chargers home. I think the Justin Herbert hype is a little too overrated. I need to see Justin Herbert make the playoffs. I need to see him do something first before we just anoint him as the next guy that's coming up. Taking the Raiders here plus the points, I think it's a no-brainer, honestly.
I think next week we're going to go to like a 45-second clock for everyone. It's like, bang. It's like whether you're done or not, it's going to be like the Oscars. The music's going to play. We're going to walk out. I think that might be the answer because either that or we go back to the old format. Well, we'll figure it out. But I think a 45-second clock or something would work. Al Ninos?
Yeah, again, another over here. I think it's 2 teams are much better on offense than they are on defense, and I think we see a lot of points again. So give me the over.
Rod?
And for me in this one, it's a divisional battle, and so you're going to give me 3.5. I'll take the Raiders plus the 3.5. I think this is a field goal game all day. Anyway, yes, it's give me the Raiders plus the 3.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go on the over in this one as well. I think this one's 30-27, whichever way you have it going. I think I'm probably leaning towards the Raiders and the points as well, but I expect an offensive clinic in this one. 2 solid offenses. Give me the over between the Raiders and Chargers.
Jovan?
Yeah, so I'm on the Raiders. One of my favorite pastimes in life is fading the Chargers. It's done well for me over the years, and I'm on it again. So give me the Raiders.
I like the over as well, the 52.5. I think it goes way over. I think this thing could be the last team with the ball type game. Yeah, so, in the comments, people saying the show's too long and stuff like that. And then when we move to the other format, people say, I like the other format better. No, it's my show. I'm going to do small talk all freaking day. That's what I do. Well, the volume's low. You could, on your computer, there's usually a button that says volume. Turn it up a little bit. It's the way that usually, I'm not sure. Because if it's one person that's saying the volume's an issue, normally it's on your end. go to our final game of the NFL card. And Jay, how much do you like the Bucs here against the Cowboys? Do you just think that Tom Brady's going to come in there and push the Cowboys around a little bit? Maybe just move the ball up and down the field, and Dak Prescott's going to be 3 and out all night. What do you think here?
That's exactly how I see tonight going. No, I'm joking, man. I see it really going the opposite way. I know both teams dealing with injury to the offensive lines, but hey, take the Cowboys today on the money line. Don't even worry about the spread. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, go take them boys on the money line. We do it to the Bucs tonight. We get our first win over Tom Brady. Tom Brady should have retired this past offseason. Take the boys on the money line. Make it easy for y'all.
Al Niños.
I don't know, man. I don't know where all this. Well, I know where Jay's love for the Cowboys is coming from, but for me, it's gonna be the Bucs here. I know all the Tom Brady drama and all that. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. They're still the better team on both sides of the ball, and I think comes out, has a great game. Maybe takes the Cowboys cheerleaders home.
Rod.
Yeah, exactly. Give me Tom Brady. Give me Brady. Brady's 6-0 against the Cowboys in his career, so no chance I can take the Dallas here. I think they're definitely a little bit overrated, and people are all enamored with them. But that always happens at the start of every season. Everybody's all like, Dallas, and then we see what happens. So I haven't seen anything good since Aikman's been around in Dallas. So I'll take that. Tampa. Give me Brady. Got to go with the GOAT.
Chris?
Yeah, finish with one more over to finish the card for me. I like the over here. I think this is going to be, first to 30 wins. I think both teams could even get into the 30s here, but I love a high scoring game to close out the schedule on Sunday night.
Jovan.
Yeah, so I think this is going to play out the opposite way of how last year played out, where there was a lot of points. I think there's going to be less points in this one, and it doesn't reach the total. So at the end of the day, there's just a lot of questions with the offenses of both teams, and I think the defenses dominate week one. So give me the under.
Offensive head coach versus a defensive head coach in this one, and I think, like Jovan said, I think it's going to be a little bit of a snail's pace to get this thing going. I kind of like at least the under, but I'll be of course on at halftime to change my mind if I need to. So normally we do baseball here. We're going to skip it today because we ran way long. But if you have a parlay from the guys, we'll hear it out here, and if it includes baseball, so be it. Jay, if you have a baseball pick that you love, you can throw it in this segment to say, I love the Yankees, but I also my parlay,
for sure.
It's kind of go with, we're doing one of these. Let's wrap it up.
We're gonna go with Cowboys money line. We're gonna go with Vikings money line, and we're gonna go with Cowboys money line, Vikings money line, Texans plus the points.
El Niños.
The Titans, Bucks, and the over in the Chiefs, Cardinals.
Rod.
And for me, I'm going to take a 3-teamer anytime touchdown scores. We're going to take TJ Hawkinson of Detroit to get an anytime touchdown. We're going to take Josh Palmer of the Chargers get an anytime touchdown. And we're going to take Gesicki of the Dolphins to get an anytime touchdown. Parlay those 3 out today.
And where are we then? Ruffalo?
Yeah, I'll go with the Detroit Lions plus the points. Under in San Francisco, Chicago, and the Baltimore Ravens.
New Orleans, Detroit, Baltimore. All on the spread.
And is that it? I lost my page.
Yep.
All right. So for me, I like the Bengals laying the alternate line. I like the Colts and the Bears. Mitch, thanks for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you.
See you at halftime.